Pick up a gold ring. Hold it in your hand for a moment. That simple piece of metal has a story so old, so extraordinary that it makes every human civilization that ever valued it look like a footnote. That gold didn't form on Earth. It didn't come from a volcano. It wasn't cooked up deep inside our planet's crust. The gold in your jewelry, in your phone, in the vaults of every bank on Earth, it fell here from somewhere else entirely. From an event so violent, so unimaginably powerful, that it makes a nuclear bomb look like a candle. Let's go back to the very beginning. When the universe first formed, roughly 13.8 billion years ago, the only elements that existed were hydrogen, helium, and tiny traces of lithium. That's it. The entire early universe was essentially a cloud of the three simplest ingredients imaginable: no oxygen, no carbon, no iron, and definitely no gold. So, where did the heavier elements come from? The answer is stars. Stars are essentially enormous nuclear furnaces. For millions of years, they fuse lighter elements together into heavier ones. Hydrogen fuses into helium, helium fuses into carbon, carbon into oxygen, and so on, all the way up to iron. This process is called stellar nucleosynthesis, which is a complicated word for a surprisingly simple idea. Stars cook elements the same way you'd build something by combining smaller pieces. But here is where things get interesting. Iron is where stars hit a wall. Fusing elements lighter than iron releases energy. That's what keeps a star burning. But fusing iron actually costs energy instead of releasing it. So when a massive star's core fills up with iron, the fusion engine effectively shuts off. And without that outward energy pushing against gravity, the star collapses inward in a fraction of a second. Then it explodes. A supernova, one of the most powerful events in the known universe. For a few weeks, a single exploding star can outshine an entire galaxy of hundreds of billions of stars. The energy released is almost impossible to imagine. And in that explosion, for just a brief moment, conditions become extreme enough to forge elements heavier than iron: silver, platinum, uranium, and gold. So every atom of gold that has ever existed was born inside a dying star. But that's not even the full story. Scientists have known for a while that supernovas can create gold, but there was always a problem. The amounts produced didn't quite add up. There should be more gold in the universe than supernovas alone could explain, so something else had to be happening. Then, in 2017, astronomers witnessed something extraordinary. Two neutron stars collided. A neutron star is what's left behind after a supernova. It's a collapsed stellar core so dense that a teaspoon of its material would weigh about 1 billion tons. When two of these dead stars spiral into each other and merge, the collision releases an almost inconceivable amount of energy in an event called a kilonova. When scientists detected this collision, they pointed every telescope they had at it, and what they found confirmed what many had suspected. The collision was spraying gold out into space, not just a little, an enormous amount. Roughly 200 Earth masses worth of gold scattered across the cosmos in a single event. This was the missing piece. Most of the gold in the universe wasn't just born in supernova explosions, it was forged in the violent collisions of dead stars. About 4.6 billion years ago, a cloud of gas and dust, left over from ancient stellar explosions and collisions, began to collapse under its own gravity. That cloud became our solar system. The sun formed at the center, and the planets built themselves from whatever was left swirling around it. Buried inside that ancient cloud was material from dead stars, gold included. As the young Earth formed and heated up, most of that gold sank deep into the planet's iron core, pulled down by density. The gold we actually have access to in the ground, in rivers, in mountains, it arrived later. Delivered by asteroid impacts during a period called the Late Heavy Bombardment, roughly 4 billion years ago, when the inner solar system was pelted with space rocks carrying heavy metals from across the cosmos. So the gold on Earth has been on an almost incomprehensible journey. It was forged in the death of a star, or possibly in the catastrophic collision of two dead ones. It drifted through space for billions of years as part of a cloud of dust. It fell to Earth on an asteroid, and eventually, after all of that, someone dug it up, melted it down, and made a ring out of it. The next time you see gold, remember what you're actually looking at. You're holding the remnant of a star that died before our planet even existed. If this changed the way you see something you thought was ordinary, hit the like button and subscribe to Simple Concepts Explained for more stories hiding inside everyday objects. See you in the next one.